still hear me, but hello, and welcome. It is Friday time, prime time, those collaborations time. I'm Ricky, and it's good to be here with you for another week. These are growing in popularity as well, which is great. So we're starting to see people come on. So if you are on today and you want to join in, you can join in the conversation on the comments. Whether you're joining us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or the YouTube channel, pop your comments below. Say hi, say hello. Let us know that you're in and watching and joined us, and you can ask conversations as we go through the session as well. So if you are joining us on a replay, please do put hashtag replay so we know that you've joined us as a replay as well. But we're really excited to bring you another edition of Lunch Break Live, and these are getting popular, and we've got a guest list that is lining up now. So we're really excited with some of the upcoming shows that we're bringing you. So as you know, my name is Ricky, and I kind of host these each week, but you also know that we have someone else that normally is sat back of house in the studio, controlling things. So this week is a little bit interesting because we're bringing him front of house. So he needs no further introduction from me, but welcome to the stage, Paul.
Hello.
So Paul, obviously I know you as my brother and business partner, you lucky thing, but share a little bit with the group around who you are and what you're about, because obviously for people watching, they've not necessarily been introduced to you as yet.
Okay, so yeah, as you quite rightly pointed out, I'm Paul, brother, business partner, usually back of house, so you'll have to bear with me because I'm not used to doing this sort of thing. But yeah, background as a life coach, so bring that holistic approach in when we're doing any kind of business coaching or mentoring. And yeah, it all started a couple of years ago with a baptism of fire, as you always mention. Welcome into the business, and oh, by the way, we're doing this. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I've learned a lot along the way, and I really enjoy being able to help people in the way that I do, being able to actually focus on the person rather than the job or the business. And yeah, that's kind of me, really.
Excellent, thank you. And Sam is already joined us. She's saying, love seeing Paul out of his comfort zone. Watch out for the heckling from the floor. Bring the heckling on. We want
Yeah.
more heckling. So, so it's brilliant. And it's great to have you. Go on.
I'm sure I'll relax as it goes on. I tend to be a little bit and sort of a little bit shaky at first, but I do relax and settle into it, and I'm sure once we start the conversation properly,
You'll get there.
it'll be smooth sailing, shall we say?
You'll get there, and I'm sure you will settle into it. So, as we mentioned, we've got Paul on today, and the reason for this is we wanted to do something slightly different. So, normally we would have a guest speaker join us, but today we're talking about something that we've been working on. But before we reveal about it, let's just jump in and talk a little bit about why we felt that we needed to build this and work on this. So, Paul, from your point of view, what do you think you've noticed from when we've been speaking to business owners? What are the things that are standing out with what they're needing?
For me, it's the knowledge and the information, and almost that heads up around different issues you may face, and also they have the solutions that they've been able to find. And for me, I've gained a lot of knowledge from it myself, even just being back of house and watching um, these lunch break lives. I think the one thing that most people are missing is the information and knowledge around things.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it stands out, doesn't it? And I think I remember when I first introduced you into what I was doing and building the business when it was formerly 2WAM, which is now those collaborations, and that baptism of fire, like you said, where you walked in and went, "What are you doing?" And I went, "These three flip charts we're looking at, we're turning it into conversation and sessions." You were like, "Right, okay." But I think, yeah, that's information and knowledge is good, but also I think people need to know where to find it, because there's such a challenge, isn't there, with where to find information. I think I remember you highlighted to me once, but there's so many different places I can look. So yeah, so finding that information is quite a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think it's kind of it's harder if you don't know where to look or you don't know what you're looking for. So just being given that information in the first instance makes life so much easier for you.
Yeah. So what do you think's missing after someone starts a business? I mean, you came into obviously a business that's already going, but what do you think's missing when you start that business, you start the journey? What's missing for people, do you think?
Uh, I think it's just not having a set information sheet that tells you what you need to do next. Um, it's that constant having to dig and find that information yourself. Um, if you've got something and you've got people around you that can help you, that's great. But often, when you start a new business, you obviously you don't necessarily have those people around you, so it makes it even more challenging. So for me, I think the missing piece of the puzzle at the start is always the people that you've got around you. It's surrounding yourself with the right people, which you do that in time. But right at the start, you don't have that, and then you're looking, and it's like, I've got this great business idea, I've got this model, I know what I want to do. How do I get started? What do I do? And then also along the way, you end up missing parts of information around certain things that you may need that because you don't have the knowledge around that or the people around you to give you that information that you need to have that in place. That's where little mistakes and slip ups come in. Um, so yeah, I think it's probably the people around you and the almost like your instruction manual when you start a job. And as an employee, you get given that instruction manual. You're told what to do, when to do it, what you need to do. You've got someone there leading the way. Obviously, when you run the
Mm.
business, you're wearing, as I like to say, you're wearing lots of different hats. You're also you're having to lead the way yourself, so you're having to tell yourself what to do, and that's difficult if you haven't got that knowledge there in the first place.
Yeah. And remember, we're not allowed to wear hats anymore. Lisa told us that we're not allowed.
Yeah, I know. I think if they were a bit more stylish, we'd have got away with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think if anyone's relating to this as well in the audience, even if you're on replay, share your comments, share your questions, because it'd be interesting to hear what other people's thoughts are on this. But add we whichever, we're coming from 3 platforms today: LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So feel free to add them in. And like we said, if you're watching on replay, use hashtag replay so we know, because we'll go back and comment afterwards. But yeah, I think it's it's that feeling of lonely and networking. Often, like when we've been to these events, networking as finishes and the event finishes, people kind of have that feeling of loneliness, don't they? And social media, yeah, it's great, but it's not really a community where you can kind of necessarily jump in if you're trying to build that audience, can you?
No, you can't. And for me, networking and events, because I enjoy the back of house and it's where I'm comfortable, that's where it is. For me, it's things like imposter syndrome creep in, as Sam's quite rightly pointed out. I think we all have imposter syndrome. I think some of us struggle with it more than others. But when I'm at these events or networking, all of a sudden I'm massively out of my comfort zone, and it sort of takes me a while to
Mm.
warm up. I have to kind of sit back and observe the room and the surroundings and get comfortable with the idea. Um, but yeah, and then when you come away, you've been surrounded by all these people that want to talk to you and want to know about what you're doing. They're interested, and then you get back to your office, whether that be at home or an actual office, and all of a sudden it's just you and the laptop again, and it's like, oh, okay, what do I do now? Um,
Mm.
and then I think things like the motivation can then struggle to come in, and you've got to keep yourself motivated and on task to do what you need to do. So yeah, I think for me, the build up to these events or networking and the after part is actually the worst part. When you're there doing it, it's not, it's probably the best part. Um, but when you're in the build up, you're trying to work out, oh, what am I going to say when I'm there? How am I going to open up conversations? Does anyone want to talk to me about this idea? And then afterwards, it's going away. It's like, okay,
Mm.
I've done it. I've got all this information. What do I do next? Um, how do I contact these people without making it salesy or pressure approach? Do they want me to contact? So I think you get lots of questions pop into the head that actually they kind of hold you back a little bit if you let them
Mm.
as well.
Yeah,
So
and I think Sam is highlighting an important part, that the challenge with networking is that everyone wants your service and offers you work, but they never seem to be able to follow through with a contract or money. And I think that's in the beginning, people kind of find it really, really difficult how to deal with that, because they think, "What am I doing wrong? What have I not?" Um, what have I not done right? How am I not following through? Why is it they're not accepting me? And a lot of the time that can be a normal experience, but we've certainly experienced it at events, haven't we, where we're growing and learning and working what works. Sometimes we go and try things, and then it's like almost like sawdust blowing across the road with nothing happening as a result. Um, so yeah. So and how have
yeah,
you found dealing with that?
um, it's for me actually going there and doing them is the most difficult part. Afterwards, when you message people and they kind of don't get back to you, or the lead kind of goes dead, that bit doesn't really bother or phase me so much, because you're just constantly, me and you, we're constantly looking for this, for the next thing, and how can we improve it, what can we do, and we analyze it. So if people are not getting back to me when I've followed up with them after an event, it's, for me, I've then got that time to do the other stuff that I need to. Um, but yeah, it gets disheartening as well. Particularly if, like you say, it's almost like after the event, it's almost like you get lots of tumbleweed moments
Mm.
where there's stuff going on, there's stuff going by, but it's not what you want. It becomes a very quiet and lonely place. Um,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
know, and then on top of that, you obviously get all your life distractions as well. So,
Mm.
it's difficult but manageable. And I think for me, it's all about mindset. So it's all about
Yeah.
not beating yourself up if you're not getting replies. Not not focusing on the negatives and what am I doing wrong. Is focus on what can I do next? How can I improve it? How can I get a better result from what I've just done? How can I do it differently?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you know that a big bugbear of mine have been that two things are that one, that over 60% of new businesses fail. So if stuff out there is working so well, why are so many people still failing? But also that success seems to be packaged within the world that you're earning 6 or 7 figures, and for people starting up in business, they're just going, well, success to me would be getting my first customer. Success to me would be get responding to my marketing. So it's these, success doesn't always have to show money, does it? And we've been talking about this for a while now, I think, haven't we, about what do we do and what
Yeah.
can we what can we come up with. So we'll come on to it in a minute, but I mean, how long have we been talking about this now?
6 months, I would say. Um, yeah, it's been a while that we've been talking about this, but I think the one thing I like, oh, and Catherine said hello. Hello, Catherine. Um, the one thing I like about what we're doing is we're trying to do things differently. So many things that you do, particularly down here in Poole and Bournemouth, um, networking wise, business wise, they all preach about being different, but actually you turn up and they're all the same. It's all that typical, as you like to call it, meat market for business. People dressed in suits, stalls, everyone trying to give you the information about how they're the best thing since sliced bread. And
Mm.
you kind of you should be getting a community kind of feel from networking where you're making contacts, you're staying in contact with people, you're getting that referral system going where, oh, I know someone that can help you with that. But you don't get that because everyone's so focused on that, like you say, success being a six figure sum, and
Mm.
it's chucked in your face time and time again. Look at me, I'm successful, I've got a six-figure business, I've got a nice house, a nice car. Follow me, do it my way, and you can have that success. And it doesn't work like
Mm.
that. So I think it's it's a case of that's what I like so much about what we're doing because we're doing it so differently. And
Mm.
yes, we're taking our time and at times talking about stuff a bit longer than we probably should. But I think if you're going to do something in the right way, it needs to be, you need to take your time with it. We've had quite a lot of experience now about, in my opinion, the wrong way to do things and watching a lot of people do things the wrong way, that it's actually given us the ammunition we
Mm.
need to be able to build something different and much
Yeah.
more unity vibe going on.
Yeah, and I think it's quite interesting what you were saying about people doing it in the wrong way and a certain way, and yeah, people spend more time thinking about what am I going to wear to this networking event, what am I going to wear to this business event, how am I going to sell my stuff to people, what do I want to get out of it, that they forget the art of connection and communication, which is be a human first and actually build those relationships. And that's what we want to, and like you were saying, we see these events, they all sell themselves as different, and then they all turn out to be the same thing, and actually they're attracting the businessman in the suit and the traditional boring boring business method, as we call it, and still people are like building 30-40 page documents to start planning their business. And I like what Sam was saying, that when they were doing wedding fairs, her hubby used to wear a kilt, and everyone wanted to know what was under the kilt. So that's another
I,
show completely. Maybe we need to have that as another lunch break live, I think. But
I can't say I can imagine Mark in a kilt, to be fair.
yeah, it could
I'm
be
not sure I'd want
interesting.
to either.
But saying about if people on huge salaries, why are they trying to make sales? Surely they should be on an island. Absolutely. You hear these people selling the 4-hour working week and how I broke the rat race and got on the thing. And it's, the reality is it's that course they're selling that is actually breaking the rat race for them.
Yeah, but
or
also, as you know, in business, there's no stopping. So
Mm,
I kind of get why they're there trying to make sales, because they want to keep it going, and they've got, in their mind, they've got a great idea and they want to share it with the world and they want to help people, which is fantastic. But I also think that there's also no real entry level value,
yeah,
because they often a lot of these fantastic courses, come and do this, it's going to cost you above your budget. And it's
yeah.
like, you can't like Sam says, surely they should be there on an island somewhere, and that bit I completely agree with. But
Yeah.
they they're probably there trying to make sales, because their outgoings are far too high for the life that they're trying to lead, so they need more money coming in.
Yeah. I think we all need a bit of that. And,
Yeah.
and Sam's going to share a photo. She's going to find a photo for us of the kilt. So yeah.
Oh
So
God.
that could
Okay.
be. So we're going to have a kilt picture. So yeah. So
Oh,
I
I don't know.
think
I reckon a good post for the charity on the Facebook page.
yeah. So I think this is where we've tried to work a little bit differently, and what we've tried to do is kind of remove people's barriers to access, isn't it? One thing we've always talked about is actually we want to work with that early stage business community in a way that they're able to work with us, so that where possible, as many people as possible can work with us, but we can remove those barriers. I think what was I'm going to let you talk about this a little bit, actually.
All right. Okay.
What have we actually created? Tell people a little bit about what we've been up to.
Okay. So tell people what we've been up to without giving away the big reveal.
No,
Okay.
I think now's the time to share what we've been up to, what we're launching. Um, I think
Okay.
we always talk
So
about honesty and transparency, so just tell them
yeah.
what we're up to.
So what we've been building something in the background, which is going to offer that community vibe, without the pushy sales stuff that always comes with these different groups, communities. It's not just another group. We are launching something on Facebook, and it is a group, but it's not like the rest of the Facebook groups where you get bombarded with sales or people messaging you. It's about collaboration and community, and somewhere you can find um, all the useful information that may not necessarily be there accessible. So it's going to have that vibe of people not just working, but working together, and also being able to ask that helpful advice. But also, we're going to bring people into that community that are going to be able to offer that helpful advice. So it's somewhere you can go to ask, and I hate this, what most people would go, stupid questions. To me, no question is a stupid question. It's only stupid if you think it is. But then there's always a question there that you might not know the answer to, even if it's quite obvious, and you might kick yourself when you get given the answer. But it's just it's it's going to be a place where people can be relaxed, and unlike the other Facebook groups, it's actually going to be useful. And it's not going to
Yeah,
be your typical meat market when it comes to business. Oh, I've got this, I can help you do this. Because I hate it when I get those kind of messages through social media. Oh, yeah, I've looked at your thing. It looks fantastic. I love what you do. Here's how I can help you. It's like, hang on a minute, you don't even know me.
yeah,
But so
yeah,
it give people the opportunity to get to know others and build their network and connections along the way as well. Um, with all that waffling done, I'll let you. I'll let you announce the name of what it is. As you've seen, the link has gone up in the comments and has been displayed on the screen. So I'll let Ricky announce officially what it is.
Oh, official announcement with the cutting of the ribbon and stuff like that. So, yeah, so we've launched those collaborations lounge, which is a community. We toyed with where we were going to put it, and we've started it very much on Facebook as a community. But we'll look as it grows. How do we move it into that place? But yeah, that's the area that we're looking at. It's going to be a place where people can ask those questions, not just to us two. So it's not about Ricky and Paul show where you get to just ask us. You can ask other people in the group. It's going to be about celebrating your wins. Often you get a big deal. You can see on the background we have a couple of awards that we've won. And actually, we opened them in the office, and it was just me and Paul going, "Yeah, we've won an award, great." But actually, yeah, we want to share those with people. Sharon is just saying, "Hi, Ricky and Paul and Ricky, joining late, but good to see you." You're not late until it's over, Sharon. You're still here. That's the main thing. And thank you for giving your time and coming to join us. We had Sharon on last week, so if you want to see Sharon's show last week, you can go and have a look on our YouTube channel. And find it there. But yeah, absolutely, it's about that friendly place where you can celebrate those wins together, and we can use collaboration to champion each other, where we can find those collaborations and those networks and share those opportunities and learn together. That's what we're building. And also it's about having that safe place where you don't just go in and go, "Oh, what ideas can I steal today?" It's about actually what can I contribute and share. And we might have a point where we go, "Okay, it's a marketing Monday, let's see what people have been doing to promote their businesses, what's been working for them," and then people would share different ideas and stuff like that. So there's going to be lots. I have to be careful here because I get a bit carried away and excited, and Paul will tell you when we had an a live event just before an exhibition. What, Paul? I'll let you tell the story. What happened on that live show
Yeah.
that had you shaking
Okay,
your head?
so we were planning to exhibit at an event, and one of the really good marketing things that we actually did was Ricky was invited to go on this podcast. So he went on this podcast, and they were talking about the event, and the person doing the podcast asked him what's going to make you different, what's going to stand out about your stall. And it's like, okay, so you can imagine what sort of answer he gave. He got really excited. He's saying, yeah, it's going to be great, we're going to have this crystal maze style dome in the tent, we're going to do this, that, and the other. I'm going to have a life size bin on stage with an oversized business plan that I chuck in. And then afterwards come back and told me how it went and spoke to me about it. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So I was then tasked with the idea of, okay, go away and make this work. To which my logical brain was already telling me, okay, I'll go away and do this, but it's not going to work. We had a 3 by 3 meter stand. So any kind of Crystal Maze dome in there would have left us with no stand. So our exhibit would have been very different in the fact that that would have been all we had. So after a
I still think
conversation
it would have
about
been good.
it, it would have been if we'd have had a bigger stand. But after a conversation about it and just a little subtle reminder about that we like to keep things simple, it the idea evolved and it shrunk actually down to, so um, we still did a game which was quite similar, but a lot smaller and easier to manage and didn't take up half of the stall. So that was good. But yeah, Ricky does come up with some very big, bright ideas. And then my logical brain engages, and that's where we work so well together. But yeah, um, I was also going to
Yeah.
also touch on the point, one thing that we were speaking to, that I love about. I can see all these comments. They're very distracting. I'm like a magpie.
I know. Sharon is saying the Crystal Maze has to come out a bigger stall, though. Oh, definitely. I think we will have some sort of event where we have a Crystal Maze dome.
There will
Paul
be,
is
yeah.
Paul's
There
director
will
of
be. There
operations.
will
So
be. Yeah. Sorry, keep talking over you. You can tell I'm not used to this. Yeah, there will be time and space for that idea to come in, so it hasn't completely gone away. It's still there in the back of my brain. Just be the right time and the right place and the right amount of space to do it as well.
yeah, I
Um,
don't know what they think about my eating habits, but apparently by the time Ricky has had his lunch, the stand was probably full. Um, so it was fine. They had food stands there. We didn't need to. Anyone that knows us will know that we are food people. So therefore, that's one of the priorities. Where are we getting lunch, and how are we eating
yeah,
during
yeah.
daytime?
I'm
In
just going to
fact, just
put
before,
Sharon's comment up as well because it
yeah,
touches on the point that I want to touch on too as well. So I'll let you read that one out.
yeah, love the idea. Collaborating is the way forward. You can learn so much from other businesses. Absolutely, definitely. Um,
So it
uh,
touches on the point that we were talking about where people need people, not just information. And that's another thing that I love about what we're building as well, because it is bringing that collaborative approach into it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's something that is very much needed. There's so much noise, there's so much busyness in the world. People need somewhere that they can go when those live events, when those networking stops, to carry on the conversation, and that's what we want to try and build. Um, from there. So I think, Paul, let's just touch on a few things. Just some questions
Um,
that people might be asking about those collaborations. Go on before we do.
I'm actually going to flip the script. I'm starting to feel too comfortable here, but I'm going to flip the
Oh, okay.
script. I'm actually going to fire some questions at you now. Um,
Before we
so
do, Sam is just saying it's the KLT theory, know like trust. Absolutely.
okay.
Go on then. Let's flip the script. Let's.
So
I don't know if I want to give control over, but yeah. Let's hand
yeah,
it back
yeah.
over.
Well,
Go on then.
you haven't got a choice on this one. I'm going to do it anyway. Um, so I just want to talk about a little bit of the idea of where did the idea come from? What was the purpose around it? So, obviously you mentioned about when we first started talking about this was 6 months plus ago. Um, so what was the moment that you knew that you wanted to start building something like this?
I think for a long time I've known that I wanted to build something like this, but I think really when we were talking last year, we attended some events. I'll tell you what it was. We attended some events. We went to an event in a field. People might recognize this, it's coming up. But we went to an event in a field, and both me and Paul walked in, and all of a sudden we saw someone dressed in a bumblebee outfit. We saw um, some loud music in a tent, which realized that actually that was going to be a bit different, and went, that's where we need to be. And I think it was, for me, it was about finding that home. There's not enough places where people can feel comfortable, because there's 7 billion people on this planet. Everyone is different. yet people get told a certain way that business should happen, a certain way you should dress, a certain way you should feel, a certain way you should be. And I think people need to be who they are within their businesses. So I think when we attended some of those events, and it was that realization that actually, if you're looking, you find them, there are some different things that will help you succeed. That was the moment for me where I was like, we're on the right track. We need something different, and starting to see that form as a community, and seeing some of those communities that we've been very privileged to be a part of, that has introduced us to so many different people from so many different walks of life, all feeling comfortable and safe in that environment without judgment. Is that for me was like, this is what we need, because not everyone wears a suit and works in a boardroom. So yeah, even though people know I like to wear a suit and I like to dress quite smartly, that's me, but I don't want to feel corporate. I don't want to feel like that boring businessman. And sorry to all those businessmen that wear suits and ties, and you're not all boring, but it's that stereotypical old-fashioned version of business, that it should be done a certain way, and that's what we need to move away from in this society. So yeah, so for me, that's where the idea started to form.
Yeah, yeah, we've kind of built it from experience. It's not some fancy marketing idea that we've seen and gone, oh, yeah, we'll do that. So we've built this all around our own experiences and what we've experienced. But what did you wish we had right at the start when we started doing this? What do you think for us was missing, knowing what we know now, when we started creating this idea? What do you wish we kind of had at that point?
I think it's what I've seen all along. It's what I've seen with people that we've been, again, fortunate enough to work with in the work that we've done, the work we've done with Sammy Charity, the work we've done with others, where we've seen that what's missing for them is a way that works for them. It's, people get told, do it this way, because one person has learnt an idea and gone, that's how you do it. That's how you be successful. That's how you get loads of customers. And actually, it's not the only way. That's how you write a business plan. And all too often, actually, those things didn't work because I couldn't connect with them. Going into the world of business, learning business, going into different things, there were ways that I was shown that I was like, but this just doesn't connect with me. It doesn't make sense to me. I need to find, so I had to find other ways to do it. And for a lot of people that we've worked with, that's the same. It's not worked the same way. They've had to find other ways to do it. The reality is we don't all have the big bank balance and the big budget, um, to be able to do it. And people seem to get an idea, go it's successful, and then tell everyone to copy and paste it, like, sending cold messages out to people on LinkedIn going, I'm fantastic, I can do this for your business, we can get this and we can achieve this in the next 6 months, not even knowing if that person needs that. And that for me is where it was that we need that change.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it's going to be a place for everyone. It's a place where people are going to belong, they're going to learn, they're going to connect. And it's going to be a place that I love the fact that it's inclusive. There's no barriers, there's no boundaries that say that certain people can't join. This is going to be something for everyone.
Mm.
So it's going to be a fantastic
Yeah.
thing as well. Um,
Yeah, and
so
I think I think as well, because I think it's important to share. We're all in business because we want to provide products and services to people and determine our own success, and that will come with sales and needing to make money, and that's there are places to do that, and we don't want that hard sell within the community, but there will be opportunities for people to share what they're doing, because I think that's the other important thing. Let's face it, people are going to need to share what they're doing. They are going to need to have some sort of sales, but it's going to be done in the right way, not in a way that means, people feel like all it is another selling platform.
yeah, yeah, no, I completely agree. And it touches quite nicely and brings us on to our next point as well. So obviously we've touched a lot and we've given a lot of information. So I just want to kind of just reiterate. So what should people expect from this community that we've built? What's the purpose? Why are they there?
Well, of course, they're there naturally because they want to see and spend more time with us. Um, no, that's and I jest and joke with that completely. Like I've honestly said, this is about everyone, and this is about that support network. So they're going to see community. They're going to see conversations from people. They're going to see. Um, the successes. They're going to share their challenges as well, because it's not, we set up Lunch Break Live to be about honest conversations, not to be about polished performances. So actually it's not just about celebrating wins, it's about sharing challenges. They're going to see a bit more. It will be the place where you'll find out first what me and Paul are up to in our world of business. So I think there's going to be lots of stuff going on in the community, and it's going to be built by the community as well, because that's the other thing. It's not just going to be a this is what we think you want. It's going to be a actually what do you want, and it's going to be going out to that community and going, what do you need, what do you want, what would help you, and seeing how we can develop all the time to grow things for that community, for that group. Um, so yeah, I'm just conscious of time, so I'm going to take back the baton a little bit. Just to summarise, it's the it's those collaborations lounges. What we've built from this understanding that people need that place they can call home and feel part of that community within the world of business that is open to everyone, no matter who you are or what you are or where you are. You can build in a place of balance, and have that community to bounce off. There is not going to be a cost to it. It's a free community to join. We looked at different ways we could set it up. At the moment, we're going to set up into the Facebook community, but we'll look at how we can maybe expand that as it grows. So yeah, I think we know it's going to be free. We know who it's for. Do people need to own a business already, Paul? This is quick fire questions, but if they've got an idea but they've not yet started their business, can they still join the community?
Yeah, of course they can. They don't need a business already to join.
Yeah,
You're going to get lots of
yeah,
information to get you started. So
absolutely. So whether you're just from, I've got an idea, or I've just started my business, or I've been going a few years and actually I'm a bit established, it's open to you. Um, oh, can people invite people? Do we want other people to invite other people, Paul? Do you think?
well, they can tell people about it and they can request to join, and then obviously we'll authorize it in. But yeah, I would say certainly invite people, tell people about it, and then obviously we'll do what we need to our end to let them in.
Yeah, I would say see how it's going first. If you're enjoying it, then why wouldn't you want to share it with people? Because if we can work together, then success builds success. So I think in closing today's session, it's about community, it's about collaboration, it's about support, and it's about that longer term vision of, can we turn this failure around of more businesses failing than succeeding, through the work we do. Um, uh, Sam is saying, I think they need to say if they are mentor level or mentee level. So that could be an interesting one. Um, but yeah, I think it's basically for everyone, and I think the thing about it is honesty. It's, if you've got something to add value and share. So Sam hits an important part there. It's like, what level you at your business. We don't want people coming in and just saying, well, I would do this, I would do this, and actually it's bad practice. I think it's best practice, and that's where we'll be monitoring the community to make sure it's the right kind of information that people are getting. But yeah, absolutely. Are they mentor level or mentee level? That could be an interesting thought process on that one.
Well, it could be an interesting coffee conversation.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so. So, if you want to join the Those Collaborations Lounge, we are looking to make it fun but friendly but professional. So we'll keep it business appropriate, which is a thing we use in lots of stuff we do, and we'll keep it super simple. We'll kiss it, as we like to say. You've got the Facebook group in the comments, and you've also got it there. And yeah, Sam is saying, I did get it right. Sam is saying, perfect. That's what I meant. So I did get it right. I've also put it back into the comments again. So you'll see there's the link for the Facebook group as well. We would like to take it across the 3 platforms, YouTube and LinkedIn, but I don't think we can do that at this stage. But we'll look to see what we can achieve with that. And it's been good to have Paul on camera. I think that's awesome. We managed to get Paul on camera as well. You've been watching us for another a Friday lunch break live. If you've been watching, whether now or live, you can say hi and bye. Also, like I said, if you've been watching this on replay, don't forget #replay in your comments so we know that you've caught up with us afterwards. You want to know a bit more about us, then our website is www.thosecollaborations.co.uk. But yeah, I think from us, it's a big thank you and a goodbye. Paul, any final thoughts to share?
No, I think they can safely say this is definitely not polished. Raw, real, honest conversation.
Excellent.
And goodbye.
Excellent. From myself and Paul, it's been a pleasure to share another lunch break live with you and bring to you what we're doing to make sure that people don't feel business is lonely. No, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's not polished, is it? We're trying to combat business feeling lonely so that it doesn't feel lonely. Anyway, on that note, it's time for us to head off. Goodbye, and we will see you next week for another great episode. Yeah.